Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports, I'm Chase Sr. We're going to take a look at a fresh list of Niners cut candidates. This coming after 2 preseason games for San Francisco. Just want to take a gander at which players are in danger of not making the initial 53-man roster. First, if you hate the Las Vegas Raiders, Niners-Raiders preseason finale on Friday night, then I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. And of course, San Francisco. Niners cut candidate number 1, running back Elijah Mitchell. This week, Isaac Guerendo, 4th-round pick, returning to practice. Patrick Taylor, another running back who's been banged up, returning to practice. Jordan Mason has been one of the most improved players all throughout Niners training camp. You have Christian McCaffrey as your RB1. Elijah Mitchell, still hurt with that hamstring injury. And he continues to be and stay and get hurt throughout his entire NFL career. So he's injured once again, this time because of that hamstring injury. It's kept him out over the last couple of weeks. Jordan Mason runs physically. He is durable. He runs decisively. He can carry the pile. He brings some boom to that Niners running back position. He has worked and has clearly made strides as far as him catching the ball out of the backfield. And I think that it would be ridiculous for Jordan Mason to not get more carries and to not be RB2. So where is there a spot for Elijah Mitchell on this team? If he makes it on previous performances, not what he's done of late. And I know that Cody Schrader, his yards per carry haven't been good, and we haven't seen him do much as far as running the football. I've actually seen some juice as a returner, but I want to see more. I think there's a better football player in there. I think Cody Schrader's struggles as far as picking up yards out of the backfield have been mostly due to horrendous offensive line play. And you know who I've been impressed with the last 2 weeks in the preseason? Matt Breida. He still has some decent speed. That wheel route that he caught from Josh Dobbs, he looked electric in the open field. I still think he has some good ball left in the tank. So 2 things can be true here with Elijah Mitchell. He's a talented running back who has done some great things with San Francisco. He's been a productive player when healthy. But the other truth, he is literally always hurt. Year 1, year 2, year 3. At what point is enough enough? Cut candidate number 2, Trent Taylor. I just simply think that San Francisco has to end the Trent Taylor experience. I have simply seen enough. He doesn't offer enough as a returner, as a punt returner or kick returner. He's small. He's not fast. He's not explosive. He's not shifty. The best quality about Trent Taylor is that he doesn't fumble punts. You're telling me that's enough to make the team on a Super Bowl contender when there are other players who offer San Francisco so much more electricity? And as a wide receiver, he's just not a wide receiver in this league. He can't make the team just because he's sure-handed and he's George Kittle's buddy who's been staying at George Kittle's crib throughout training camp. You know what I want to see? I want to see rookie Jacob Cowing as the punt returner. I think that Cody Schrader is a better kick returner at this point than Trent Taylor. And Trent Taylor in game action, he hasn't proved it at wide receiver or as a return man. Brock Purdy wanted him to keep running upfield. When he got the start alongside Purdy against New Orleans, he fell down. And then there was another play in which he got taken down and he slipped. Trent Taylor is not a wide receiver in this league. And he shouldn't make this club just by being a return man. So keeping Taylor is just a low upside, vanilla move. And it would be too much of a safe move for San Francisco. And the best businesses in sports, high-level corporate America, are the ones who are aggressive, not the ones that just play it safe all the time. And I just don't see how you have Trent Taylor make this squad when you have 6 wide receivers who are clearly ahead of him, better, more valuable, have more talent, and have more upside. Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, Chris Conley. Those are the 6 wide receivers, in my opinion, who should make the team. Chris Conley is a very good special teams player who's had a really good training camp. The Niners have barely played him in the preseason, so clearly they value him. And if we're going to talk about other wide receivers who have a shot, Ronnie Bell, he could have a shot. Robbie Chosen-Anderson had a 60-yard deep ball bomb touchdown on Tuesday from Brock Purdy. It was a dime. He runs better than Trent Taylor. So there are going to be difficult decisions to make with that 6th or 7th wide receiver spot. And while we're here, we could have a couple of different wide receivers on this show. We're going to get to another one coming up. Danny Gray is another cut candidate for San Francisco. I thought it was hilarious how NBC Sports Bay Area tweeted out a video of Danny Gray's catch from Sunday Night Football when it nearly went through his hands and he nearly dropped it. It could have been picked off. Instead, he corralled it. And NBC Sports Bay Area is like, what a catch for Danny Gray. Bad tweet from the intern. I think Danny Gray gets cut too. Ronnie Bell, his roster position, also in danger here. The seat starting to get a little bit warmer for him. And this is why. I think that Bell can play in the NFL. Last year in the preseason, we saw it. He was really dynamic and picking up yards after the catch in a very Deebo Samuel type of way without the speed and explosion, but he brought that physicality to the position. This year in the preseason, though, what has happened with Ronnie Bell? Multiple drops, lack of concentration. He's also had no separation in game and throughout training camp practices. And look, this is the reality of the situation. San Francisco might be too deep at wide receiver. And I said this on draft night and after the draft when the Niners took Ricky Pearsall and then Jacob Cowing. They like both of those players. They clearly value both of those players. You're not going to cut them going into year one, especially after Cowing balled out. Ricky Pearsall injured right now. Ronnie Bell, a former 7th rounder, might not make this team. So whose seat is the hottest among all players on this Niners roster? I want you to drop me a name down below in the comment section right now. Our sponsor for today's Cut Candidates video is Game Time. If you want to put together some great memories and you want to go to a sporting event, a comedy show, a concert, a theater event, Game Time is your answer. They specialize in last-minute tickets, and you're guaranteed to get the lowest price on the Game Time app when you compare their prices with other ticketing apps. A suggestion? Toggle the all-in pricing tool so that you will not get hit with all those surprise fees at checkout. And I just want you to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. So download the app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That is first purchase only. CHATSPORTS. If you're looking to go to a San Francisco Niners game, and you want to go Niners-Raiders, Allegiant Stadium, Friday night, tickets available for that. If you want to go to opening night, week 1, Monday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers, NorCal native, returning back to NorCal to take on the Niners, as San Francisco has really owned him throughout his career. Still tickets available there as well. I love this app too because you can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. There's the vantage point there, the views from your seat, but then you have the aerial view where you can look down at the stadium, and if you say, I want to sit behind the end zone, get that all 22 look. I want to sit 50-yard line. It's very easy to do with the Game Time app. San Francisco Giants tickets also available on the Game Time app. And like I said, not just sports, comedy shows, theater events, concerts, they have it all. Use that code CHATSPORTS. Get $20 off. Cut candidate number 4 is the safety Tracy Walker, who the Niners signed a couple of weeks ago. And some people might be surprised by this. Some people might not be. San Francisco still, because of the injury to Talanoa Hufanga, even though he's getting closer to coming back, has some questions as far as the depth there. But Tracy Walker is a player who has played well in moments, and he's played a lot of football. 79 games with the Detroit Lions prior to signing with the Niners, including 43 starts. He's drawn a couple of penalties so far in the preseason. When the Niners signed him, I did say this is a safety-friendly system. We saw what happened with Deshaun Gibson. Niners signed him after the injury to Jimmy Ward, and he ended up playing so well after signing him to the practice squad that they moved Jimmy Ward to nickel, and they kept Deshaun Gibson on the field, who ended up being a really good player for this team the last 2 years. Signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars going into 2024. Does have that PED suspension, but I just don't think that Walker is going to make this team. And part of that is because of the emergence of George Odom at safety. He's looked at as one of the better special teams coverage guys in the NFL, but he's gotten a lot of reps at that safety spot. He's performed well, good ball skills, a lot of interceptions so far in training camp, some pass breakups during the games. I think that he's looked pretty good on the field too. And while there is a chance that Talanoa Hufanga plays week 1, Kyle Shanahan's saying that this week, if he can't, I still think the safety starters will be Jair Brown and George Odom, and then you have Malik Mustafa as one of your backups. You might be able to get away with 3 safeties on that game day roster week 1 until Hufanga can come back. If Hufanga does come back, then you have 2 safeties at each spot. And then I definitely think that Tracy Walker is on the outside looking in. Cut candidate number 5, and really number 6 if you include me talking about Danny Gray. There are a lot of cut candidates on this team, of course. It's Cam Latu, the former third-round pick from 2 drafts ago out of Alabama. I liked Cam Latu at Alabama. I thought he was a really solid player for Nick Saban. He was big, long strider. He ran well for his size, very athletic. Had some good college production with the Crimson Tide. I'm sorry, I have to be honest here. He has been horrible in his first 2 years. It is time to end that experiment. It is time to move on. I know the Niners have missed on some third-round picks of late. Ty Davis-Price, Trey Sermon before that. Now it looks as though Cam Latu. He is just not an NFL tight end. And he's not a capable tight end on a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. He suffered from drops. He doesn't create separation. I don't think he's a good blocker. He's gotten bulldozed when he's tried to block. He's been injured. It is just simply time to move on. And among the 2 tight ends who were drafted 2 years ago, Brayden Willis looks to be the better player, and Brayden Willis doesn't even seem that good. So Eric Saubert has kind of emerged as the Niners tight end too. Doesn't bring you much as far as being a pass catcher, but as a trusted blocker. And we know that the Niners and Kyle Shanahan really like those trusted blocking tight ends. That's why Ross Dwelley and Charlie Warner were on this team for so long. So that is my list of fresh Niners cut candidates. Of course, you can obviously expand on that list. You can drop me some names down below in the comment section during roster cutdown day, which is coming up on Tuesday after the preseason wraps up. We'll, of course, do that video and take a look at all of the players who were let go by San Francisco. Before we hop on out of here, give me a follow on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior. And thank you so much for watching the show.